Hello, everyone. This is Robin from Robin's Creations. On today, we will be making an A7 card. An A7 card, the 5x7 sunflower card. Let's get started. We're going to start off in Cricut Design Space, where we're going to pick a sunflower, which I chose from Cricut Design Space, and pull it apart so that we can place it to make our card. So we're gonna go ahead, and it looks like I've already added it to the canvas, but what I'm going to do is show you the various components that will allow you access if you are an all access member, or if you're not, there will be a payment. But if you are an access member, it'll be free. So the image number here, and if you have this image number, you can put it in the search engine and it'll pull up the sunflower, or you can do a wide search on the sunflower of your choice. And I like to go into Cricut Design Space to pull various elements to build upon my card and what I would like and how I would like it to look. So let's go ahead and add this to the canvas. And we're going to just view it on the canvas. And I have something in the background that I'm not going to keep. So here we have various other of the same. So we don't need that. I was playing around before I got started. So since we have and are doing a 5x7 card, just so we can get an idea of the placement, and let's go into our shapes and pull up a rectangle will be fine, because it will be in, well, we could start off with a square. And with that square, we're going to get the 5x7, or make it a 5x7. So let me just go to more and take the lock off. Let me move my various components for this meeting. Let me see here. Okay, so we took the lock off, and for the width of the card, I'm going to make this, we took the lock off, we're going to make this a 5 inches. And let's go and make it 7 inches tall. I don't know if my keyboard just died or what. Let's see. So it looks like, oh, okay. It says that my keyboard is connected now. Okay. So what we have here is the 5x7, and I'm not, okay. Okay, so we have the 5x7. Okay. We wanted to move those images out of the way. Cricut now has a new way of allowing you to have multiple search screens open. So as you can see, the base is on top of the sunflower. We're going to reverse that. We're going to bring the sunflower to the front so that it can go on top. So we're going, since we have a 5x7 card, and this is the size of the card. So we're going to minimize the sunflower just so it won't be too large. So here we have like a 4.5 inch. 4.5 is actually great because I can see that we have some room top, bottom, and on the sides. So that's a 4.5 inch wide is actually great. So let's go with that. We don't need the 5x7 piece any longer. So we're just going to turn the eyeball off of this layer just to put it to sleep for a little bit. If we need it again, we'll do so. So as you can see, we have various colors here. We have a darker yellow, light yellow, and then we have, I guess, see-through pieces of the sunflower, and then in the middle, the seeds, and you can see the lighter portion behind. So this document is layered, or this image is a layered image. So we have the sunflower, and then we have the back. So if we remove or turn off that eyeball, we can see through it. But we want to keep the back piece. In some instances, you may or may not want to use it. So we're going to keep it. Then we have the sunflower itself. And of course, if you take the sunflower away, you just see the shadow. Like it's sort of like the offset. So it's like they already did it for you. So let's pull this sunflower apart. Let's ungroup it. We're ungrouping the sunflower. After you've ungrouped it, you'll see the various components. We're going to remember our sizing so we won't resize it by mistake. In the middle of this sunflower, I can see that it's all yellow. Oftentimes, when you're cutting on the Cricut, you don't get that element to be able to, I guess, well, I'll just take this for instance. I can't make a different, the seeds can't be different here. It's all going to print all one piece. The flower itself is just going to print and it's going to be one piece. So what I would like to do is take the seeds out of the middle of the sunflower so that I can cut it on a different color cardstock. So what I would do is go back to my shapes and I'll go to the circle. And I'll move this again, move that out of the way. And let's go in the middle here and blow the screen up just a smidge. And okay, so let's blow it up just a bit more. Okay, so you want to get this circle inside of the seeds, not larger than, because if we make it larger than, it's going to make the petals come apart, and we want to keep the petals together. So let's just make this 2 inch just a little smaller and try to center it. And it's still a little too large. So we'll go ahead and let me see here. That looks good, but let's make it a tad bit larger. Perfect. I think that's perfect. So let's see here. Awesome. Okay. So when you have two or more items, you are allowed to slice them apart. So let's select the petals in the circle, then slice will become available. And we're going to remove, let's hit slice first. And you'll see how you'll get the element that you want as far as separation, the element of separation. So here we have the black portion that we added, the circle. So it pulled out the seeds. These are the seeds. And then we also have the black circle that we added. And we have the middle portion that we will keep. So let's look at what we have here. We have the we have the offset piece, we have the petals, and now if I would like to, I'll go ahead and keep both, but throw away the seeds. The best part. So I'll go ahead and select both of the insides, and then I'm going to choose to turn that chocolate brown. So I think that with the sunflower, and I put this in the middle, I like the variation of color that it allows me to have because I separated the inside. If you want the inside the same as your petals, you can do that as well. The only thing you have to do is when you go to make it, is to put them both on the same mat, and it will cut on the same, in the same color. So we have, let's see here. We have the center portion. We have the offset piece that will go in the background. We have the petals. And this is what I mentioned first. And this is the inside of the sunflower with the seeds. And I just kept both portions of the middle. You don't need them, but I would like to have them just in case if I would like to do two colors, like a yellow and a brown. I just feel the need to keep both, but you could always use one of each. You can use the inside, the petals, and the offset. Okay, so when we go to print this, we'll go ahead and hit make it. And as I was saying, when you go to hit make it, you get to choose what you want on your mat. And since this is just a 5-inch image, you can go ahead and take that 5-inch image and put it on the same mat or various mats. So here we have the inside, which will print chocolate. If you don't want it to print chocolate and you want it to print yellow, you can always move this to another mat and confirm. And you'll have one that's yellow and one that's chocolate. And then we'll have the gold yellow for the petals. And then you would choose which machine you have. You have the Maker, Maker 3, or what is it? The Cricut Explore family. And then you would go ahead and cut them out. So for the sake of time, I've already cut these items out, and we can begin to put together our card. And with everything that you do, when you're creating, save often. So let's save this. So my little tool buttons, they getting in the way. So let me see here. How can I move those out of the way? Okay. So we just want to save. So it looks like this project has been saved. So now we can go ahead and switch cameras and go straight to making our card. Let's switch screens. So here we go. We're back at the craft desk. Let's expand my view so that I can see everything that I'm creating. Let me move my mouse and my keyboard out of the way. You can still see it. Okay, so we're still recording. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, please. Okay, so first what we're going to do is cut our base. We're going to be cutting a 5x7 card. And I'll be using the 80-pound cardstock. So the first cut will be at 10 inches because we have the front and the back is 5 inches. We cut the long ways horizontal at 10 and then vertically at 7. And now we have a 5x7 base. We will take our scoring tool. We will take our scoring tool and score at, let's see, 5 inches. Get that in place and let's score at 5 inches. Here's the 5, and then you just go straight down. 5 inches, fold it in half. Looks really good. So we'll finish with the cutting and scoring board for now. So we'll go ahead and put that up. Before we get to before we get to adding the front and the matting to the card and dressing up the card, I want to switch it around today and do something a little different. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and place the sentiment inside of the card so that once it gets a little bulky on top of the card, it won't interfere. So with adding the sentiment inside, I received a binder that I have from Crafter's Companion. This is another one of their designs that I got a few years ago. And I was on the ordering throughout the year for the various holidays. So this is the holiday book, or yeah, the holiday book. And they always package their things, Crafter's Companion. They always package everything so nicely. So I have to slide these. This is Mother's Day. So we're going to go to Thanksgiving. And then I'll choose one of the sentiments that'll go inside. So I like this one. When I count my blessings, I count you twice. So let's use that. So we're going to take this off. This is the first time using it. And I will also be using my Misty stamper. Now my Misty stamper, the stamper allows me to place everything as far as the sentiment in its proper place when you're creating a card. So I would go to my 5x7 card and I would think of the placement in which I would like. When I count my blessings, I count you twice. So I'll go ahead and fold this card in half. Here's the magnet. Not a frame. I apologize. I'll get it together. So this is my Misty stamper. And the Misty stamper, and that's MISTI. The Misty stamper allows you to stamp everything in place as far as your sentiment. So you want to make sure you're on the right side of the card that you want the sentiment to go on. Then we'll place the sentiment in the just about area where we would like it to print or to stamp. I'll go ahead, put it in place. That's a little crooked. So the magnet that comes with it, this magnet will hold my card in place so that the card at least won't move. But as far as the placement, you just place it in place. And if that looks good to you, then you would close the stamper, the Misty stamper, and you will close it so that it can pick up your stamp. And when it picks up your stamp, if you can see it here, and once it picks up your stamp, you can do multiple cards and keep in the same position and just keep opening and closing the Misty. I love my Misty stamper. It just allows you to be productive in your card making. So let's go ahead and stamp this card up with the ink. So let's ink it up with the ink. And I'll put that ink back on. And then we'll go ahead and close the, let me see here. I think I want it there. Okay. So we'll go ahead and close it. Here, and I pressed it down onto the base, and look at that. The inside of the card is already, the sentiment is already done. Great. So that's my Misty Stamper. It's like, I always get a great positioning and then I can just stick with it. So we're finished with the Misty. We'll put that back to the side. And I'll go ahead and sit this to the side until we finish the outer portion. So the sunflower that we had for today, the portions, I printed them out. So here is the sunflower. Then I have the offset. And I also have the 2 centerpieces. So we have that, all of the flower components. So what we're going to do is cut the matting. The matting for a 5x7 card, we're going to go today, we're going to see if we can go with something that's not quite large or small. So we just have to make sure that the sunflower can fit. So let's try and cut today for the 5x7 card. Let's do 4.5 by 6.5. I think I'll go with that first. So, and this paper here, if you can see it, it has like little dots all over it. So we'll go ahead and cut this. Let's go with 4.5. I'm gonna go with 4.5. And then we're gonna cut by 6.5. And let's see if that fits, because the flower was just about the 4.5, if you remember when we cut the flower. So if we put that on there, let's see where our flower falls. Is it too large? It looks okay. And then here's the center. So let's layer it up. So we're going to take our tape runner, turn the cardstock over on the non-decorative side. And get as close to the edge as possible. And we'll go ahead and add, let's go ahead and add the mat to the base. We can get that in there. How does that look? Let's see here. So we have the I think it's crooked. I may have to come out of frame just a little bit. Back in frame. I was a little concerned. I'm like, it's so crooked. Okay, that looks better. Then we'll take the offset, apply some tape to the offset. And get as much as we possibly can for the offset. And we're going to use the liquid glue for the outline of the petals. And let's find where it should be positioned first. So we have to find that happy medium or that positioning to where as though it'll lay right where the offset will fit. So we're getting there. It's just we just have to find it. Because once you take it apart, once you have taken the flower apart, you have to match it back up. And I think I found it. Look, I found it. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit of the liquid glue in various places just so that we can get it adhered to the base. So we have some here. And then we'll go on the other side and add some of this liquid glue as well. Just some here and there pieces. Not too much, just a little bit. And it's just strategically, place the glue so that it won't come apart. This is my Tombow glue that I'm using today. And with the Tombow glue, it dries clear. And that's one of the great perks of the Tombow glue. So we want to put the top back on to the Tombow glue. So we have our, let's see here. We have the flower. It's looking really nice. It's looking really nice. So let's go ahead and add the seeds for the center. Let's turn that over on the back. And then we'll go ahead and give it some of this liquid glue. I keep on coming out of frame. Like, man, I'm not looking. I put this other wood looking mat on my desk today to take away some of the glare, but I just keep coming out of frame. I'm like, it's not positioned right. But I'll get it right. I'll get it right. But today, this will work. So we'll go ahead and add the center in. Oh, I think that turned out nice. Sunflower. I see a little seed left in there, so I'll take that out. Oh, look. I get so excited when I see these cards come together. I just get so excited. So let's go ahead and make an area where we can take and add a sentiment on the front. Let's see. We could use white or brown. We can always go across. How does that look? So I pulled out this gold color. So we'll go ahead and use the gold color. So let's cut off about a 1/2 inch so that we can add to the sentiment. Let's go ahead and just cut off about a 1/2 inch. Because it could say, let's start off with an inch, see how we like that. And we can go down to a 1/2 inch because you can always go smaller. But if you cut it too small in the beginning, you can't add on. We have to cut it all over again. So here we go. So we have the sunflower. We could add a sentiment. Let's see. How does that look? So I'm not sure. Not sure at all. If I should go up, on top, or beneath. I think beneath will do it. Let's go beneath and make it 5. Let's cut a 5-inch sentiment strip. So we'll just bring up the cutter and make a 5-inch sentiment strip. And the 5 inches will go across the whole entire card. I'm not sure if I want to cover some of the sunflower or just let me go with what I had. So we'll go ahead and this time I'll add the Tombow liquid glue. And we are ready to add it to the card. I'll put it back under the sunflower. And I'll just lift up the sunflower just a smidge. And then the strip will go all the way across. But I want to make sure that I show all 3 colors. So you'll see a bit of the teal blue, both of the yellows, the golden yellow and the white. So I like that. And it looks like we are just about done. So here we have our sunflower. And the only thing we have to do is add a sentiment across the bottom portion of it. So let me pull out my sentiments. And you know, I have quite a bit of the sentiments, but I forgot to pull them out before I started to record. So I always keep them together in the, I just always keep all of my things. I try to keep them neatly organized so that I can find them when I need them. Yes, it's a task, but I get it done. So let me see here. Let's see what we want to choose. So we want to keep with the 5 inches because we know that the card is 5 inches. So here we have give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Then we have with God, all things are possible. And the inside, when I count my blessings, I count you twice. So let's go with a friend loves at all times. How about that? So we'll go ahead and pull that off. Move this case out of the way. And then add the clear sentiment right here towards the bottom. Let's move everything up just so that when I add it to the bottom, it'll just adhere right in the middle. Let me see here. I just need to lift up the petals just a little bit so that the clear stamp can go right beneath it. And it says, a friend loves at all times. I think that is so cute. What do you think? I think that's cute. So I can never make a card without adding embellishments to the card. So I have some dewdrops. So I'm going to go ahead and add some dewdrops to the card. And the dewdrops, the glue is white for now, but again, it will dry clear. So we'll take and pick up the dewdrops with the wax pen. So we have the dewdrop, and I picked it up with the wax pen, and I'll drop that on the card on top of the glue. The glue is it's a little wet, so the dewdrop will be a little cloudy in the beginning, but it will dry clear. That's the great thing about this Tombow glue. It dries clear. I really like that. Let's do one more. Let's go right there. And add the last little dewdrop. And we'll just pick it up with the wax pen and drop it on the card. And it just gives it that wet look once it's all dry. And these are called dewdrops. And I add them, I have to keep all of my embellishments in containers just so that everything is in order so you can find it when you're making your cards. So these are just little plastic containers that I put them in. And the sentiment, I got that from out of a pad that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. And the cardstock that I'm using came from Michael's. So we have the 80-pound cardstock, and then the other various colors are 65-pound cardstock. So here we have our beautiful card. A friend loves at all times with the sunflower. And in the inside, when I count my blessings, I count you twice. That's really nice. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Tell a friend. To God be the glory for allowing me to share my story. Thank you.